coaching staff, which he helped accumulate with Chris Getz, he lets those guys do their job. They have so many meetings to make sure they're all on the same page and what's taking place. I literally can walk into Will Venable and go, hey, before like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so what's going on the field right now? Is it early stuff? Goes, oh, I don't know, because that's his coach's job to get these players out, get them working, and he trusts these coaches to make sure that they are getting the work done. They will talk after all the work is done. All of a sudden, it'll be the coaching staff comes in and says, all right, Will, we finished this, we did that, all the things we talked about yesterday that need to be focused on. The communication's amazing. The trust in each other is amazing. And the coaching staff and the work that they do, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen from one coach to the next how efficient, how good at getting these players to get their jobs done they've been. I've really never seen an assembly of coaches that get the job done with the players like this.
I want to ask you this. The White Sox signed the Japanese star Murakami, and he comes in, and he's putting up good numbers and having a very successful first season in the major leagues, and he gets hurt. And you think, oh, man, this is going to be the end for the White Sox now. They're going to fall apart. The actual opposite has happened. This team has really turned it on in his absence. And now you're going to get him back here in the final, 70 games of the season. And how much of kind of explain that, how that has kind of happened that way. Can you do that?
Yeah. So first of all, getting Murakami in here was a godsend in the sense of how he is such a leader, and he's just been there for a few minutes, but he's such a fun-loving, jovial guy that keeps everybody loose. They've all got on board of who he is and his success in Japan. They don't look at the success he had in Japan as it's not equal to Major League Baseball. He was an MVP over there. He was a Triple Crown winner. They all realize he's the star of the team because he's capable of being the best player on the team. But with that being said, one thing that's happened with the White Sox organization is we've got some people now down at the minor leagues that can transform certain players that might be struggling. We saw with Colson Montgomery last year. Ryan Fuller, our minor league hitting guru, took him aside, worked with him, and got him to the big leagues. I mean, he's become a star power hitting shortstop for us. Did the same thing with this young man named Jacob Gonzalez. Jacob Gonzalez was basically floundering in the minor leagues, first-round draft pick, left-handed batter, shortstop, just like Colson, but he wasn't doing anything. A couple of things took place with him to where they got him focused, changed a little physical thing with his stance and his approach, and all of a sudden he had 60-some RBIs in 50-some games in the minor leagues with 19 home runs, and we call him up when Murakami goes down, and then instantly he gets to the big leagues. He hits a big home run for us in Philadelphia. He starts clicking. He drives in 17 runs in the absence of our first baseman over 20-some games. You're like, okay, plug and play. Let's go. So next has become the theme for us. We're not letting, because somebody that's an important figure for you at the big league level, we're not letting that hold us down. They're just getting the next guy in line, and that guy's coming in and holding down the fort until the big guy can get back. It's been really impressive how we've been able to do that, but that starts in the minor leagues and continues at the big leagues with the coaching staff, making sure you stay where you're supposed to. That's why I was saying I've never seen an organization so well connected from the minor leagues to the big leagues to the coaching staff to the players. That's how we all of a sudden went from 101 losses last year to we have 50 already this year, and you're going, wait a minute, what's going on here? How this happened so fast? We're just ahead of the curve.
Do you think it's maybe possible with how this team is built, because there's not an Ohtani on this team, right? There's not a superstar that is, feared by the rest of the league. Has that helped kind of build the White Sox up, because it's kind of like, all right, we're all in this together. Nobody is above anyone else. Do you think that also has attributed to the success?
James, absolutely. One of the things, as I was mentioning a moment ago, and Phil can talk about this because he played for a lot of great teams, and when you don't have the superstars that everybody just jumps on board and lets them carry them, you better be united. And that's what I was mentioning earlier. We have a locker room full of guys that are united. And you don't need a superstar to say, hey, I'm here now. Matter of fact, with that being said, the White Sox go out of their way not to mess with the chemistry of the locker room. So to bring in and sit there and say, hey, we're bringing in a Manny Machado, that might tear up the locker room. They might not be united anymore. Everybody's in their own corners now because he's a boisterous guy that's going, hey, I'm in charge. Come on, guys, jump on board. They don't need that. So the locker room is going to be remaining exactly how it is. Every little piece that they add or subtract is going to affect how that locker room performs. And they're really, really conscious of not taking a player out of there that's going to affect the feel of the locker room, not adding a player that's going to tear it apart. It's really important with the way the White Sox are built that they do just that. They are just a unit, and everybody plays and pulls for each other.
Visiting with Darren Jackson, 12-year Major League veteran and longtime radio broadcaster with the Chicago White Sox now. And 2 weeks away, 15 days for the end of the first trading deadline where you don't have to clear waivers. Do the White Sox make a move? I mean, do you feel like there's some place that could improve the ball club, like you said, without shaking up the locker room? And everybody's always looking for pitching. There's never a change in that. But do you hear anything? Is anything coming about right now as to something that the White Sox might try to do to improve the ball club down the stretch?
Well, I will quote Chris Getz from just, a month ago or so. He is always trying to improve the team, always trying to make the team better, make the roster better. There's no time he's not trying to make this team better and compete better and win right now since the team's in a position to do so. So, yeah, I would say he is. And in the area of needed improvement, as you just said, Phil, it's always going to be pitching. You're always going to try and strengthen for me, strengthening our starting staff. And, of course, if you can pick up one solid arm down that end of your bullpen, you're going to be that much better as well. So, yes, but also you have to get the right people that are going to fit into this setting. So, and you can't subtract from the guys that are there that are a big part of keeping the locker room the way it is. So it's such a fine balance that's taking place right now because they are discussing every time they talk about, all right, we need a little improvement in this area. Do you subtract a big league player that's already part of this and helping you and in a positive way in the locker room? So it's going to be interesting. I sit back just like you and the rest of the fans. I sit back and I wait to see what's really going to happen. I don't go in and play GM, and I don't go in and say, give me all the scuttlebutt. I need to know this, give me this. I don't like to do that. I will occasionally, go somewhere and go, all right, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? But I don't like to try and ask what our general manager or coaching staff's thinking about the future because as a former player, I kind of know where they're at in the first place. So I just leave that part alone, but I go off of what I hear from all these individuals as well.
This reminds me somewhat of the movie Major League because you have a team that is truly 2 years ago is just the organization looked to be a mess. Everything looked to be a mess. And, nobody's given you a chance at the start of this season. And all of a sudden, here you sit, tied for first place, and listening to you just talk about the team, you've got a different vibe in you. And that's what I saw with old Harry Doyle, from the movie Major League when the Indians start to make a run there. You've got a different vibe than even when we had you on a year ago of where the White Sox are going and what they're doing. And I got to believe for everyone that not in the locker room, not on the field, but people that are a part of the club and surrounding the club have that same feeling going on right now.
Yeah, that's a great observation. When we were sitting there, you and I talked about this with your daughter last year, having breakfast in Kansas City, talking about the team and baseball and all these things. It was definitely I was a different person watching baseball at that time because nobody could have foreseen or predicted that we would all of a sudden become a team that's contending for the division. I don't care what anybody says about how it's a weak American League or it's a weak division. the White Sox are playing great baseball. That's all there is to it. And we're beating some of the best teams. We beat Atlanta. We swept Toronto earlier this year. I mean, teams that were playoff teams, World Series teams last year. We are beating them. We're head-to-head this year, nose-to-nose. We're beating them 2 out of 3. We're sweeping them. We beat the Braves. I mean, these guys are playing their asses off. Simple as that. And it's exciting to see the level of how they're playing the game. That's, I think, as you would know, guys, for me, it's how you play the game, the effort that you give that excites me. And I'm seeing it for the first time. I'm not seeing guys jog to first base on a ground ball to the shortstop. I'm seeing them run. I'm like, yeah, there you go. It's 4 seconds of effort. It's not that hard. Instead of, oh, there's 6 seconds of effort for a ground ball to the shortstop. I don't want to watch that. I don't know why anybody would want to or allow it. So everything that we're seeing right now, there's no way. And I was quoted earlier, like before the season started, like my expectation of this team this year. I said, well, look, you're looking for maybe we improve as much as we did from the season before, which was 19 wins. If we can win 19 more games than last year, man, you're getting close, right? You're getting close to the 5-year mark. But the year after that, you're probably competing for a wild card spot. So I figured not this year, but next year we're pushing toward 500 or a little better. And the year after that, we're definitely pushing for the division and the wild card. Who in the hell could have predicted that this year, from last year's 101 losses, they'd be in first place past the All-Star break? I mean, absolutely nobody. Not a person alive would have predicted this, including our general manager. But we'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. You take it. Outside of Benintendi, who's 32 years old, you don't have a starter on this everyday roster that's older than 26. That looks good on paper, but is this a group that will be able to handle pressure down the stretch? Because you know as well as I do, when you get into a pennant race, sometimes having that veteran 2 or 3 guy presence makes a difference. This club doesn't have that. Is there something that you see that's going to keep this young group focused and going forward and not succumb to pressure down the stretch?
Yeah, I think the overall the demeanor of the staff and the club combined, they're jamming music during batting practice. They're dancing. The coaching staff has got this. We got Derek Showman, our hitting coach, that's coming here, and he's freaking demanding, like, get the job done. Yet at the same time, he's standing behind the batting cage. He's singing songs to these guys with the music blasting. So he's that kind of guy that keeps you focused, but lets you have fun and relax. The staff, again, I think they alleviate the pressure from these guys. They really do. And you're right, because most teams need that veteran presence, that experience. Right now, we've got a Randall Gritchick. We've got an Austin Hayes sitting over on the bench with an injury. We've got Gritchick that's come in here and just crushed and let off the bench. So we still have a blend of a couple of guys that are mixed in as veterans. We got a few veteran pitchers, Sean Newcomb out of the bullpen. There's certain guys, Eric Fetty in the rotation, that we've inserted that are the perfect fit for what we're doing here. And you're right. You still need that presence. You need that experience with the game on the line and the playoffs, because no matter who you think you are as a youngster, when you're feeling that pressure with the bases loaded and you have to throw a strike down the middle and hope he doesn't hit it out, or if you got to hit that ball as a hitter, that's a lot of pressure. You've got to have somebody over there that's sitting there telling you, don't worry about it. You know how to do this. You'll relax. And we have that right now, and I think we'll keep improving in that area.
Visiting with Darren Jackson, radio broadcaster with the Chicago White Sox. How many years now have you been doing this with the White Sox?
Well, this is my 27th year broadcasting with White Sox TV and radio.
Holy cow. Man,
yeah.
you're old.
You dirty dog. Don't you dare.
Phil's older, so just go to sleep knowing that.
Oh,
that's exactly right.
I used to kid DJ. He talked about when we first became teammates about, he was younger than me and whatever. And I said, how are you younger than me? Because, he'd been in pro ball. What was your first year in pro ball?
1981.
Yeah, before me. Okay. And I said, how did you spend 4 years at Culver City Community College and be younger than me. How did that happen? And that was a running joke that I had with him for that period. Is there? I don't even think there is a Culver City Community College. Is there?
No, but in Culver City we did have West Los Angeles Community College, which was in Culver City, and a good baseball junior college for sure at the time. But yeah, but the big thing is this, Bill. You go on to Wichita State and Star and become infamous with the Phantom Pickoff, all that fun stuff that we get to see every year, which I love.
Thanks a lot.
That you were one of the best base stealers in the history of the game. But anyway, I graduated at 17, so that's the thing. I was off playing pro ball while I was 17 years old. Therefore, it allowed me to just slide under that Phil Stevenson age bracket.
Pretty crazy. All right. Well, James is sitting here, and he doesn't believe any stories that I tell him. He thinks that I'm just making this all up. Is there a story you could tell him, about me, whether it be true or not? But go ahead, and a story that you might have about me that you could share with him.
Well, aside from the time that we used to spend on the golf course or in restaurants hanging out together or whatever, this isn't necessarily the most complimentary story, but at the same time, it is a compliment because of the way Phil was built and how to play the game. But Phil was an extraordinarily patient hitter, as you guys are all probably aware.
Sometimes too much, yes.
90 walks a year, 100 walks a year, no big deal, which I was the opposite of that. I'm swinging at every pitch thrown out of the pitcher's hand. But I remember when we were in San Diego, Phil, and I don't know if this I don't think it was beneficial to you, but it got to a point where they'd be sending Phil up to home plate to pinch hit because Phil could rake flat out, rockets all over the place. He'd walk up there and his eye was so keen and so good. Pitch would just miss out of the strike zone an inch high. So he'd be perfect for the ABS now. I mean, good Lord. No, that's not a strike. Yes, that's a strike. He'd be amazing. So he'd just take one high. He'd end up walking on, 5 pitches. Bat never left his shoulder. And obviously you're going to remember this, Phil, where they came to you and go, hey, Phil, when you go up there to pinch hit, swing the bat. And you're like, but they're not strikes. They go, we don't care. We know you can hit those pitches even if they're not strikes. You're pinch hitting. We need you to rock the ball. And I used to sit there and go, that's true, Phil. You could definitely hit those pitches. I know you're capable of it. I used to sit there and think to myself, but at the same time, that was his game, was to be patient. And now I want to know this. When they came to you saying that, did it affect you as a hitter? Because now you weren't as selective.
Well, I think anytime you have something that you're somewhat good at, it does affect you a little bit because they want you to expand the zone and do something that's out of the norm. And I look back now and I probably wish I would have been a little less selective from that part of it. But as a pinch hitter, as you well know, depending upon the situation, whether it's you got to hit a ball or you got to find a way on base, I think a lot of those times when you go up to pinch hit, it's to find a way on base.
Yes.
With that part of it. But yeah, I was probably a little too selective.
Just in pinch hitting.
Yeah.
Not any other time.
But the first year that we played together, which was, I believe, 1986 in beautiful Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the ugliest places I've ever lived. With that, I look back, how many big leaguers were on that team that we had
Lord.
at that time? I mean, we had Damon Berryhill, myself, Rich Amaral, you in the outfield, Palmeiro in the outfield, Gary Varsho, I think, was on that team for a while. Rolando Rooms was another guy got some big league times. We had Maddox and Moyer on the pitching staff.
Yes.
I mean, that's 10 guys that ended up in the big leagues off that team.
No question. We had we had an all-star team. We went to the playoffs that year. That team.
We were barely above
Reds.
500.
Yes. Yes.
Sporty was an interesting manager. Let's just say that.
Yes, Tom Spencer, Sporty. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. No, we were fortunate because you're right. It's going to be hard to find many minor league teams at that level of play that had at least, we probably had more, we had at least 10 big leagues. Drew Hall pitched in the big leagues, Mike Capel.
Yes, that's right. Forgot about those two guys.
Jeff Pico, I don't know if he was there with us or not. But yeah, we had a whole bunch of big league players on that Double-A team that went on to have some success, or at least a taste of the big leagues. It was a lot of fun to be part of that.
It was, and it allowed you and I to become teammates and friends for a lifetime, which I treasure that to this day. And I want to thank you for your time to come on the show today. I know you guys are traveling to Toronto. And while you're there, find Joe. He's going to be there. They're unveiling a statue of his World Series home run. And I tried to get it out of him yesterday. Is it going to be you jumping for joy as you were going around the bases, or is it going to be the swing? And he says, what? You're breaking up. I can't hear you. He wasn't going to leak. He knows, but he wasn't going to leak what it was going to be. So I hope you guys can connect and get together and share that moment with him as well.
Matter of fact, because you told me, which I would not have known they were doing that, I will probably wander out for the unveiling and surprise him and stand there and say hello to him and be part of that. That's going to be awesome. Thanks for sharing, Phil.
No, absolutely. All right. Well, hey, good luck to you guys. The White Sox the rest of the way. The Royals are out of it. I tell you, it has been if you're a Royals fan, it's been a tough summer to stomach at this point. Between the injuries, I won't even go into the other stuff that I've been berating people on the radio with, but it's fun. I can tell the excitement in your voice that this has been a fun season so far for the White Sox, and hopefully it'll continue.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate the time, James. Pleasure speaking with you again. You guys go have a great rest of this baseball season.
We will, absolutely. And, maybe we could talk if the White Sox make the playoffs. How about that?
I'm available. You know that.
All right. Sounds good. Safe travels. We'll talk to you soon, DJ.
All right. Thanks for the time, guys.
See you. All right. There goes Darren Jackson, longtime broadcaster for the Chicago White Sox, 12-year Major League veteran, joining us here on In the Zone. Come back. It's Phil on the Grill coming up next.
This portion of In the Zone is brought to you by Kansas One Call. Call Kansas One Call at 811 before you dig.
Get in the zone, on KGSO.
This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
Mike check.
Walker Kessler, a legitimate defensive big. This is what I've been preaching now since the new Dodger owners came in. It's not about clinging to the past. It's about spending money and looking through the windshield, not the rear view mirror.
This is The Herd.
Weekdays at 11 a.m. right here on KGSO and on the SC Wichita app.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, Phil Stevenson here, and when I need to get in the zone to watch the big game, I head over to Dino's Grill and Tap Works at 21st and Webb Road in Cambridge Market. It's the place to watch all the big games. With TVs everywhere, a great selection of ice-cold beer on tap, and the best happy hour in town from 3 to 6 daily, and all day Mondays and Thursdays. That's half-price wells, martinis, and the perfect margaritas. And oh man, the food is awesome with something for everyone, from great apps and salads to ribs and steaks to homemade pizza. Check out a game at Dino's at 21st and Webb.
Wichita's sports leader, KGSO, is brought to you by Devon Jaimes. Devon Jaimes Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
Be the most knowledgeable or obnoxious one at the water cooler. This is Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers brings us back here on In the Zone. Before we get to Phil on the Grill, maybe you need to make a quick pit stop at this place.
Taco Tico, it's all about the taste.
New special starts today, runs for the next probably 4 weeks. The 2 for $5 deal, a taco burger, beef sancho, combo burrito, any two of those. You can mix or match or take two of the same for $5 right now at Taco Tico. 13th and North Tyler, 35th and North Rock Road, also Augusta, Derby, El Dorado, Newton, and Arc City. You can also order online, tacotico.us. Get your favorite sauce, mild, hot, green chili, or Reaper. The 2 for $5 special, taco burger, beef sancho, combo burrito, mix and match, however you want it. But that's the new special at
Taco Tico, it's all about the taste.
That is correct. Now let's check in on the Maximum Outdoor Equipment hotline and say, welcome, you are in the zone.
Good morning, Phil.
Morning, Dave.
Happy grilling to you.
Well, thank you very much. Are you ready to get this rolling?
I'm ready. It's season 2, episode 19.
There it is. I'm grilling away. I'm sizzling.
All right. The subject is the Major League Baseball draft, which took place this week.
Okay.
It's getting too much like the NBA draft, Phil. There's all these little sub-footnote transactions and limits on this and protocols on that. But it appears that the Mr. Irrelevant of the MLB draft was Zach Bates, left-handed pitcher, fourth-year junior, University of Illinois.
Okay.
Now, one source I saw that the slot for that, which is the protocol amount of signing bonus, can be less, can be more, but it's like $191,000 for the last pick in the draft. But he could even take less. And then another source tells me that whoever you draft, if you pay $150,000 or less, it doesn't even count against the pool, the draft pool that each team has. So I'm wondering, as with the 7th-round quarterback from LSU that the draft people were talking up for days that, he should be a 3rd-round pick, and he's still here in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. And then by the middle of the seventh round, they start saying, well, this is great for him because he'll be a free agent and he can pick his team. So which would you rather be, Phil, or who would you rather be advising? What would you be advising the last pick in your fourth year junior pitcher from Illinois to sign with the Dodgers for a comparative pittance, or go back to Illinois for that? Or apparently he's not going to get more than $191,000, whatever he does.
Well, having been in that situation as a junior and being drafted by Montreal, and I felt like they weren't offering very much money for being a fifth-round pick. And, there wasn't near the amount of money of what's going on today. Joe Carter was the second player taken. He got $125,000 the year before. But I figured, what they were offering me and what was the opportunity to be in a position to get a college degree, what was it worth? And I felt that, number one, not sure I wanted to be a part of the Expos organization. Being in Montreal, they didn't seem to make much of an effort to sign me being a fifth-round pick. And I just thought it was better for me to go back to school. And, with only 20 rounds today and the money that's being thrown about, I don't know with a guy who's the last player taken what kind of money they're going to get. But I would think if you bet on yourself to go back and be better, that somebody's going to think more highly of you. You may get drafted in a higher round. You may be in a position to get more money, but it's also a risk because they know you can't go back to college, so they may offer you less than your value of that whatever round pick it is. So it is a little bit of a risk to do that. But if I were in that situation, that degree is going to mean more down the road than whatever money they're going to offer you, because you can't play baseball forever. And I look back, at the time I wanted to get the degree. I came back after my first full year of pro ball and took the 10 hours, got my degree. Well, that degree didn't pay off until I was 45 years old and got the job at Dodge City, because I got the job ahead of people who applied for it who did not have a college degree and were trying to get it. They may have been just as qualified as me, but they did not have a college degree, and that was valued at that point. So that's when it paid off for me, was 25 years down the road. So,
go ahead.
No, I just going to say, I think you have to look at all the whole situation as to, and if you bet on yourself, I became a third-round pick the next year. So I got more money as a senior to sign than I was being offered as a junior.
Well, I've wondered, since they went to 20 rounds, used to be 40, then 25, and then...
Well, it used to be unlimited. You could draft as long as you wanted to draft.
Yeah, those were the good old days. But then they shortened it for COVID, and now it's 20. I wonder, what does the free agent, the undrafted player, what is his situation, especially one that possibly could go back to college or, so I guess around 150 is all you're going to get. But I would think that a free agent doesn't get anywhere close to that.
No, they're not going to get anywhere close to that. Then you got to determine for some guys, school's not their thing. And if you are an undrafted player, then yeah, you can kind of pick and choose. If you want to try to get into pro ball, that's why you have a representative to go contact these different teams. And, sometimes your market value might improve because you might have multiple teams that want to sign you.
And I don't know what kind of year this fellow had at Illinois, but
what
there's
team
also
drafted him again?
The Los Angeles Dodgers, Phil.
Ah, okay.
They get the last. His name is Zach Bates.
I pull him up right here. I got it in front of me. And, the Dodgers are probably an organization that, they may throw some money. If they were going to draft him, they're going to throw some money at him, to try to get him. And that individual's got to determine if he thinks it's worth the money to sign, or is it worth the money to bet on yourself and go back and hope you're a higher draft pick down the road?
And then we have the added dimension of NIL, which wasn't around when you were
absolutely
dickering with the Expos. Maybe Illinois, maybe some team would say, "Hey, we'll give you half of that $75,000 and transfer from Illinois," but then maybe his graduation is thrown off, or maybe he's already graduated as a fourth-year junior. So there's all sorts of computations that have to go into this.
Sure.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see him on the Wichita State schedule next year as a transfer nil man into Texas San Antonio or something.
Yeah, who knows? Absolutely right. But the Dodgers didn't have a pick until the 40th pick, the end of the compensatory picks at the end of the first round, and they took a high school shortstop from South Carolina. And then they didn't have another pick until the fourth round. And then their next one was in the 7th round. Good grief. They're losing a lot of picks for signing free agents, but I think it's worked out pretty well for them, Dave.
Yeah, those poor old Dodgers, they're going to find a way, Phil, no matter what obstacles the Major League Draft throws in their way. They're just going to put their heads down and keep on going.
You are correct, sir. So, all right. Well, I hope I answered your question.
Well, I think you did, Phil. It's always curious to me what's happening after that last name is named in the draft.
Yeah, I think it's actually better for some players that now, there may be multiple teams that want to pick you up at this point in time down the road. So we'll see. But that's where we are in today's world of Major League Baseball draft.
I'll see if we can follow this over the exciting offseason.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Dave, thanks
day,
as always.
Phil.
You have a great day yourself. We'll see you.
Likewise.
All right, there goes Dave. Take our final break. Come back. Wrap up this Thursday edition of In the Zone next.
This portion of In the Zone is brought to you by Kansas One Call. Call Kansas One Call at 811 before you dig.
Get in the zone, on KGSO.
Want to hear more of KGSO? Don't forget to download our app today. Fill out weekly surveys, register to win great prizes, listen live, message our shows, and so much more. Plus, get reminders of special programming and games you don't want to miss. Just find SC Wichita in your app store and make KGSO your new favorite app. It's Wichita's Sports Talk, right on your phone. Download the SC Wichita app today with Wichita's sports station, KGSO.
Looking for a new-to-you ride? For over 70 years, customers have trusted Rusty Egg Ford with quality vehicles and exceptional service. We have 500 used cars available with 150 Ford Blue Advantage certified. From fuel-efficient cars to tough trucks and versatile SUVs, you'll find quality, value, and selection all in one place. That's peace of mind with every mile. Buy with confidence at Rusty Egg Ford. Visit rustyeggford.com. Family owned and simply the best place to buy. See dealer for details.
Wichita Wind Surge Baseball is back at Equity Bank Park. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy an exciting night of baseball right here in Wichita. From big hits to family-friendly promotions and special theme nights, there's always something happening at the ballpark. For the full schedule of upcoming events, follow us on Facebook at Wichita Wind Surge or visit us online at windsurge.com. Wichita Wind Surge Baseball. Don't miss the action at Equity Bank Park.
Coins and bullion, Kansas's premier bullion dealer.
Do you need to get rid of some jewelry? Don't waste any time and stop by Phil's Coins and Bullion today. Phil's Coins will give you top dollar for any of your unwanted jewelry. Whether it's gold or silver, get the most out of the unwanted jewelry in your drawer and do it with Phil's Coins and Bullion, 9344 West Central Avenue.
Phil's Coins and Bullion. Phil'sCoins.com.
Getting in the zone is easy when your crew's fed right. Bricktown Brewery in Wichita East and West has your next event covered with catering that brings the flavor. From Bricktown boxes that make lunchtime a win to crafted specialty entrees and full buffet bar setups, you can bring the taste of Bricktown straight to your office, team, or celebration. Bricktown Brewery Catering, available for pickup, delivery, or full service. Check out the full menu at bricktownbrewery.com/catering. Bricktown Brewery Catering, bring your appetite and we'll handle the rest.
Want more of KGSO? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KGSO Radio.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. A 7-nation army couldn't hold me back.
You know, James, this has kind of become a pretty big sports anthem.
Yeah.
This song with the White Stripes and Seven Nations Army. In fact, I saw a deal, believe it or not, on the Four Letter Network where they were interviewing the guy that's part of this kind of is the band leader of the two people or three people that are in this band, and how big of a sports anthem this has become. Kind of interesting. Speaking of a sports anthem, they mentioned Wichita in this song as well. Hey, guess what? TBT starts Monday right here in Wichita, around the country as well. And the Aftershocks are back to defend their title. The grand prize has doubled to $2 million. Well, guess what? The Aftershocks will play the New Mexico alumni in the first round. I believe games are on Monday, Thursday, and Friday, James. Is that right? 23rd and 24th also? Or is it?
It would be the Monday, Wednesday.
Is it Monday, Wednesday?
Or maybe it's Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Monday, Thursday, Friday is what I thought. So the two games for sure on Monday and Thursday, and then a third game if needed on Friday. Well, guess what? You want to go? Call the show. 522-1410. I got a pair of tickets to give away if you want to go see the Aftershocks on Monday. It's that simple.
Yeah, Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we do here.
If necessary for Friday.
That's what we do here. We'll give you a pair of tickets to give away. I've got a pair to give away. And we'll go.
I don't know if this was news to anybody or not, or if anyone had heard about this, but Nike Sabande will not be on the team this year. He had an injury come up a little bit ago, and he will not be on the team.
Okay.
Which sucks.
Roster changes.
Yeah, because he was our game changer off the bench last year. He was the one that changed the speed of the game whenever he would come in for training camp. So that's going to be a huge blow, I think.
Okay. Well, I had a person on the line. And now I have another person on the line. So let's go to him. Welcome. You're in the zone.
Yeah, this is Charles. I like a pair of the tickets to go see the Aftershock.
Charles, give me your last name.
That is my last name. First initial is T.
T. Charles.
T. Charles. Okay. All right. You know where we're located?
I do.
Okay. I'll have a pair of tickets sitting up front for you. How about that?
Appreciate it, guys. Love the show.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you calling. You have a great day.
You too. Take
All
care.
right, see you there. Just that simple. I gave away a pair of tickets. Might have more on Monday. You never know. Maybe tomorrow. But we're always giving away stuff on this show. So, all right, 522-1410 is the phone number. James, you got 5 minutes left. You got no soccer tonight. Baseball, those back in action. You got the Mets and the Phillies. Wahoo.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a peep at this New Mexico alumni team, the Enchantment of the TBT, and I think the only name that I kind of recognize is Johnny McCants. Just he went to New Mexico State. Maybe I do remember him from a few years ago, but outside of him, I don't see any names that kind of pop out to me. You know, maybe had a little bit of March magic at some point, but no, a lot of these guys, I think they've just been kind of, I don't want to say average Joes because that's a little disrespectful, but they're not household names. So, I mean, and if you're outside of Wichita, and you look at the Aftershocks, you'd probably be saying the same thing.
Probably the same thing.
But at least there's not, a college name that we were all familiar with on this team for maybe a potential breakout game. So I think that the Aftershocks should very well be the favorite in this 3-game series.
Okay.
But yeah, losing Nike Sabande, I'm not sure who they brought in to maybe replace his production, but that's going to be the biggest question, I think, going into this series.
Okay. 12 players listed on the New Mexico alumni roster. I'm wondering if they're counting New Mexico State as being part of New Mexico alumni, because they're supposed to have 6 guys that played at the school.
Uh-huh.
And I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, they've got them. Some of them have been at 4 different schools, but
at one point,
at one point they at least played there for them. And so, okay. Now I'm looking at the Aftershocks roster real quick. And they have 11 guys now on the roster listed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Including Morris Udeze, who played for both schools.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in time. So this will be interesting to see how this shakes out. Got to have a scorer. Corey Washington could be a scorer for this group. That's given. James Woodard could shoot as well, and we know Connor Frankamp could shoot. He's also, by the way, he and Barry Sanders share a birthday. Both North High graduates from here in Wichita. Connor Frankamp is 31 today. Barry Sanders, 58 today. He doesn't seem like he should be that old, but he
stopped playing at 30.
Well, I know, but I remember him playing at Oklahoma State.
I wish I was around for that year, because those 2 records are never going to be broken.
No, that was incredible to watch that guy play. It was incredible to watch him play in the NFL with a very mediocre Detroit team.
That's being generous.
A
bad Detroit team.
The years that they did not make the playoffs, the next year they would have a non-playoff schedule, and they'd go 9-7, 10-6, and make the playoffs. And then the next year they'd have a playoff schedule, and they go back to being 4-12 or 6-10, whatever it might be. However many games they were playing at that time. But anyway, so names you will recognize on the Aftershocks roster: Connor Frankamp, Rashard Kelly, Marcus Keene, played last year, I believe. Trey Wade, Morris Udeze, Marcus McDuffie, James Woodard played last year, Marco Santos Silva, Chauncey Jenkins, played at Wichita and Seton Hall. Of course, Corey Washington, who played here. And the last guy they've added, Q.J. Peterson, I don't know him. So, played at VMI. James, we've reached the end. Final thoughts.
Well, one game on the slate today. I'm going to go to the one game on the slate. 9.5 is the over-under. This is the first game out of the All-Star break. Give me the under. These bats will be cold.
Cold. And you had guys swinging for the fences.
Yep.
Probably a lot of strikeouts.
Tough
too.
adjustment.
Yeah. The Herd's next, followed by Stugatz at 2 and the Post Box at 4. For James, I'm Phil. See ya!
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is The Odd Couple with